Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist. I own 53 units of real estate and I help coach people to buy their first multifamily deal. So today I want to talk about time and using time as your asset for real estate. So I heard recently on a podcast saying, if time is on your side, you can afford to overpay on real estate and just ride it out, right? And like that concept really kind of blew my mind because for me, I'm 35. I'm relatively young, but not the youngest. And I do have at least 40 to 50 years of a time horizon, assuming no horrific accident or freak accident, to basically let real estate compound and let my assets compound. So how does this all tie in? So with multifamily real estate or real estate in general, who am I buying real estate from for apartments? Typical owner for my apartment is somebody who's in their upper 60s. They're a boomer. They want to retire. They bought real estate because they wanted a tax write-off that they were told from their CPA, and then they managed it not like a business, but like a mom and pop operation because they want the tax benefits. And then eventually they sell it, and then it's maybe owned free and clear. So they sell it, get a lump sum. That's a retirement. They're good. Or they can sell it to you and sell their financing, right? So when it's owned free and clear, they become the bank. So my typical offer is, I do 3 offers, right? And I may expand this to even like 4 offers. So my first offer is your typical conventional debt service coverage ratio loan. So that's where I'm putting 25% down. And basically the income of the property, so let's say must be 25% greater than the monthly debt payment. So my monthly debt payment is $100 a month. My NOI, so that's my net operating income minus expense, must be at least 25% higher than $1,000, which is $1,250. So by that, I'm usually offering a lower price. And the fact that interest rates are high, it makes my debt payments higher. It's hard, you have to have a higher NOI in order to meet that debt service coverage requirement. So typically, if I'm making a conventional offer, it's my lowest offer. My next offer is my 50-40-10. So this is a product offered by Velocity Mortgage where they put 50% of the money in. So Velocity puts 50% of the money in at, let's say, 9%. And they allow a seller carry second up to 40%. So let's just call it, you negotiate at 40%, a 1% interest rate. So your blended interest rate is a 5%. So of conventional, you're probably getting 7 to 8. But with the 50-40-10, you can get a 5%. Blended interest rate. So what does that allow you to do? It allows you to make a more aggressive offer, right? So you can offer a higher price, but it just depends on what terms they give you. If they give you a 1% interest, 0% interest, that's all negotiable. And you're putting 10% down on that deal. So that's my middle offer. My third offer is going to be, if it's owned free and clear, I want 10% down. And they're going to carry 90% at whatever interest rate we negotiate. And that's going to be the highest offer. So an example I made recently was I offered, I think, a 50 unit apartment complex where I gave them 3 offers. Offer number 1, conventional, was $3 million. Offer number 2 was 50-40-10 at $3.5 million. And offer number 3, which was 90% seller financing, 10% down, that was $4 million. So as you can see, the price went up. And I didn't think about this time, but I can afford to pay a higher price while seller financing because time is on my side, right? So I have to make sure the seller financing terms are at least 15, 20, 30 years long. So that it gives me 30 years to ride out the property so that hopefully it's worth more than what I paid in 30 years. And it definitely will be, right? With inflation, with the dollar being devalued, right? So that's the key thing. So basically you have to find an owner that they just want the price. They want a high price. They want the monthly income, and they're okay passing on the monthly payments to their kids or their grandchildren. Because obviously if they're 70 years old selling me an asset owned free and clear, and I ask for a 30-year note, unless they live to 100, they're most likely going to be dead. It's going to be passed on to their kids or their grandchildren, right? So I want time to be on my side, and that's what I have. If I don't want to put in money, I have to be willing to put in time. So yes, maybe the property is only worth $3 million, conventional, but I'm giving you $1 million more than what I think it's worth. And I can leverage the fact that I'm overpaying you and I have more time. So, So now that I think time's on my side, I can make even more aggressive offers where I can say, hey, like, I want to do 0% down. So you do 100% seller financing, but I'll just say $4.25 million. So now I have 4 offers, right? Because for me, I want to put as little money down as possible because I don't have money right now, but what I do have to offer is my time. And obviously you have to structure the debt payments in a way that you cash flow day one, right? So like, just because you overpay, don't overpay and be in the point where you're negative cash flow and you're underwater. No, you have to structure the interest rate, which is negotiable, in a way where you're cash flowing day one and you have the ability to cash flow even better in the future as you raise rents, as you do renovations, right? And as rents raise organically over time. So this time strategy only works if you're buying day one and you're cash flowing day one. At that point, you can extend your time horizon. Right? So this is why I'm not liking commercial debt right now, because commercial debt, you get 3-year fixed, 5-year fixed, 7-year fixed, 10-year fixed at most. But now, like I locked in 10-year fixed, but time flies. Like I bought my first one in 2021. I'm already on almost year 4 to 5. I'm halfway done. In my other property, I'm on year 3. If I did 3-year debt, I'd be due. If I did 5-year debt, I'd be due. So now, because I know that, I would rather work with like Velocity or Convoy, where they'll give me 30-year fixed debt on a small apartment complex. Yes, that does exist. Where I can get 30-year debt on apartment complexes, under 30 units. Yes, will my interest rate be a little bit higher? Yes, but I don't have to deal with the uncertainty of my interest rate fluctuating, forced to be doing a cash out refinance. And I know what to expect at the worst case scenario, and I'll still cash for day one. Right? So now I'm valuing that long-term 30-year fixed debt. And like Convoy is a product where it's 40 years, they have 10 years interest only, and then 30 years amortized after that. So that gives you a 40-year time horizon, which is my lifetime, right? Like 40 years from now, I'll be 75. So that's really I never thought of it that way. Like the fact that I'm young, I could use the fact that I'm young to like negotiate aggressive seller financing offers to give them a high price, but as long as I cash flow day one, and then ride it out for 30 years, right? But this doesn't work if they want a 2-year balloon, 3-year balloon, 4-year balloon. At that point, right, I just get my own financing, right? So like the seller has to be willing to do 15, 20, 30 years of seller financing so that they're passing on to the next generation. They don't need the money today. They get the money today, enjoy the money, but pass it on to their kids and their grandchildren, right? So now that I'm thinking that, I can be more aggressive in finding owners who own apartments free and clear and offering to buy their deals with no money down. And basically, if they cash flow, and I have to have money to fix it up, obviously, so it's not truly no money down. But basically, I have to fix up these things to raise the rents over time and to maintain the property over time. So now I'm gonna get excited. So like I'll probably do a video where I'm gonna use REI Simply. So I'm partnering with REI Simply. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to find a deal where I'm going to target properties owned free and clear in Oklahoma City, which is my market. So I want to find apartments that are owned free and clear. I'm going to skip trace their phone number, their email address, and their address. So I'm going to hit them 3 ways because it's a super targeted list. I'm going to get their number. I'm going to try to cold call them, cold text them. I'm going to send them an email, and I'm going to send them a letter. So I'm going to hit them 3 ways because this should be a small list, right? And then through REI Simply, I could, skip trace for a fee, send direct mails for a fee, and then obviously the email, I can do that myself for free. I have templates for all that. And from there, try to basically negotiate, hey, like how little down can I put? And it's hard because like they don't need if they need the money for something else, you won't get long-term seller financing. But for the right person, you could have them follow up. You can do drip campaigns of REI Simply, where like, hey, if you're looking to sell it free and clear, with 0 down. Or what I would do is like, if they want, let's say 10% down, I'll say, hey, I'll give you 10% down, but can I pay you 1% a year for the next 10 years? Right? So if I buy a $3 million asset and, let's say I have to put 10% down, which is $300,000. I say, hey, can I spread that over 10 years? So I'm just giving you $30,000 a year for the next 10 years. Right? So there's ways to spread things out over time to limit their tax liability. So I'll show you how I do that. But like now I'm thinking about like, I should just aggressively pursue these deals and then just get financing for the, basically the renovations, and then just can pay that off over time, right? So it's kind of motivating me to like leverage my time to go buy some more apartment complexes with that. So like I said, you have to use what you have. If you have capital, you can use capital to scale. Like that's what I did. I stripped a bunch of equity, $1.2 million to be exact, from my single family homes, had a lot of capital. I bought my 26 unit, renovated myself, bought my 20 unit, renovated myself, bought a mobile home park, which I sold for a loss, but I ended up doing a seller carry second. So I have like, $500,000 trapped in that deal still, getting paid interest on that. But I got capital, but now I have no more capital. What do I have? I have time. So now that I have no more capital, I can use my time to go negotiate 0% down deals, and then make aggressive offers that cash flow day one, and have the ability to renovate them and then raise the rents over time, right? To make money. So I'm not going to fix these up immediately if I don't have to, but to be able to kind of, basically do that over time, right? So just renovate it and then rinse and repeat that process of getting a really amazing deal that I've negotiated, right? So it's just leveraging time, right? So use what you have, right? If you have money, use your money. If you have time, use time. If you have time and money, even better, right? You can use both. So anyways, hopefully this was kind of mind-blowing to me. So hopefully you found value from this, and hopefully it kind of shifted your mindset a little bit. Let me know what questions you have. Please leave your questions down below. Otherwise, if you want to join my school community, I do weekly Q&As. You can join for free. Just click on the link, and then it's $1 a day. It's pretty inexpensive. In the beginning, not many people are there, so you can get a lot of one-on-one coaching for me, which is way cheaper than paying for an hour of my time, right? Otherwise, if you want one-on-one coaching, if you want courses, click on my link tree. Otherwise, you can send me an email as well. That's on my link tree as well. Also, you can get a quote from Steadily at the bottom. There's a pinned comment there, so you can get a quote for your landlord insurance. See if it's cheaper. If so, great. If not, at least you know that your insurance is better. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.